Hey, up next on the MARR Army Rock Show, I find bands all kinds of different ways to get on the show, and this band, Beyond the Fade, I just kind of stumbled across. These guys put up a link to their amazing new single, and they are Beyond the Fade from North Carolina. Guys, welcome to the show.
What's going on?
Thanks for having us.
Hey, first and foremost, where is Concord, North Carolina? I saw that's listed as your hometown on your Facebook page. Where are you guys exactly located?
It's close to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. So now I got a reference. So, give me a brief history of the band. I know you've been a band for a while, and so a history of the band and maybe a state of the band, as you would.
I'll let Neil or Brandon handle that one. Tackle it, Brandon.
Well, I started the band back in 2006, and it kind of has been through a lot of different lineup changes. And anyway, we were looking for a new lead singer, and me and Neil kind of had started jamming at the time. And so I really liked his vocals and everything, and I thought he was just a really good musician. He was out in the scene and everything. So me and him hooked up, and he became the singer of the band. And I think about a year or so later, we run across Jason. Jason had been in the scene as well, and we just kind of all crossed paths, and it just felt right to bring Jason to the band. So
you mentioned you like Neil's vocals. Give me a history. Had you seen him perform live before, or did you see demos, or how did you find each other?
Well, it's kind of funny. Like, we were in the same scene for a while. I knew of his band, Still Standing, and I think he was aware of Beyond the Fade, but we had actually never really met until one day we ended up all just getting together for a project he was working on, and so it just kind of happened like that.
Neil, did you want to reflect any on your entry into the band and what that experience was like for you?
It was actually kind of weird for me. I joined the band to play guitar, coming from another band that had just disbanded that I was fronting and playing guitar in, and I was looking to step back a little bit and just enjoy playing guitar. So when I joined the band, essentially that was my intentions, was just to do some backing vocals and play guitar. And they were having some issues with their singer, went to a couple practices, and things weren't going real well. So I was like, all right, guys, well, I don't think it's going to work out me being in this band. So I stopped going, and they called me about a week or so later, and they're like, we parted ways with our singer, and wondering if you want to come back and maybe sing. And I was like, nah, I don't want to sing. And they're like, well, yeah, we'd like for you to come back and sing. I was like, nah, I don't really want to sing. It's not what I want to do. But I talked to our former bass player, and he called me every day trying to get me to come down and sing. And finally, Brandon called me. He's like, man, why don't you just come do this? You're really good, and we really need you. And I don't know, there was something in his voice. I was like, all right, well, let's get together and write some songs and see how it goes. So we did, and it just worked out.
Your single out there caught my attention. It's Welcome to the Paint. So tell folks a little bit about that tune. Where was that thing recorded? Where was it produced? And all the particulars of it.
Jason? Well, it was recorded in Atlanta with Rick Beato. He's also worked with Shinedown and some other bigger bands. He actually contacted us, and at first was kind of hesitant to go do it, and we actually worked out a good deal with him and everything else. Went down and recorded another song actually, and it turned out real well. So we decided to do the whole album with it, and so I don't know. We started writing. We did our first 6 songs with him, and then we decided to finish the album and write with him, and we wrote the final 5 songs in studio with him, and it worked out real well. We brought in Garrett Whitlock from Tremonti Project to play drums on the album, and so that helped us a lot. Also, he come in, he's a really good drummer, and kind of put his own thing on it and really brought the songs to life. But recording with Rick was a really good thing for us, helping the song wise, the structure wise, and he kind of pushed everybody to make the songs as best as they could be. So it's turned out pretty well. Hopefully, we'll have this whole album out hopefully in April. That's what I'm pushing for anyway.
They pushed us all to play and perform better than I thought we could do.
So you said the album, you're looking at April. Now, I know there's a lyric video out there. Have you talked about making a music video for the team as well?
We've talked about it. I'm sure we will here very soon. Hopefully in the next, probably months, I would say. We'll probably have one out before the album drops. We're also doing a thing with, one of our good friends, from Indie Asylum. He's doing a new thing where, he's filming indie bands or bands that's just signed to small labels, no major labels, and he's trying to help those bands get seen. And, he's doing this thing in LA and he's doing it in Vegas. And, so we're supposed to be doing a video with him also, a live show and stuff. So hopefully we'll be doing that in April.
So, we've been doing this a number of years, and the music business can be so brutal financially. What is it that keeps you guys going? I'm big fans of another Charlotte last year down there, and I see those guys like living out on the road, and I know how hard it is. What keeps you guys motivated in this industry?
Who wants to answer that one?
For me, it's just the passion of the music, to be perfectly honest with you. It moves me, and when we have our live shows and we get feedback from it, I mean, it just fuels the fire. It just makes you want to take it that step further. So we just keep on trucking, keep on moving, keep on writing. It's a huge part of my life. I know it's a huge part of the guys' lives, and it's what we want to take to the next level. We want to reach a much larger audience, and that's what we're working towards. We've been busting our butts for the past year, and we're not going to stop from there.
So that's interesting you go to the live show and that comment, because one of the questions I had for you when I researched you guys and I looked at the press comments and fan comments, a lot of people find you through your live shows, whether you're opening for another band or at one of the festivals you've played. Has that kind of been your niche, is people finding you through the live shows?
Thus far, actually, a lot of it has been. We put everything that we can possibly into our shows because we're trying to connect. As performers and as musicians, it's really the only thing you have to make people understand and believe what you're saying is real. And we definitely get that across in our live shows, without a doubt. The passion is there. You can feel it.
So, looking back at your career, man, as a band, you guys have done some amazing things. I saw and looked backwards, and you played the Whiskey Go-Go, and you played the big festivals. What's actually been, if you could point to it, like maybe the apex or the high point so far for the band?
For the band that we have now, for me, honestly, it'd probably be playing the Uproar Fest. We got to play that with Godsmack and Seether and, a lot of big bands like that, and that really got us going even more. Since I've joined the band, this is kind of a Kickstarter for all of us.
Yeah, that was definitely the beginning of our steam engine. I'm right there with Jason. Uproar was definitely the high point for me thus far.
So let's talk about 2016. You mentioned you're hoping for the album to come out in April. Can we think about seeing possibly a tour, or are you going to be doing more shows down in the Charlotte area, you think?
There's a lot of big things going on for us right now that we really can't say a whole lot about, but we will definitely be touring this year. The album's going to drop, and there'll probably be more mid-summerish. There's a lot of festival stuff going on. It's getting ready to start. And it's really hard for a new band to get on a lot of that stuff when it's first starting, but we're in a good situation where we're going to be able to go out and do a lot of big things this year. And that's we're fortunate enough to be in that situation financially and everything. We all know how hard it is to get a new band out and actually give it a good shot. There's so many labels that put you out there on a shoestring budget, and you really can't get anything accomplished. They don't have a chance before they ever even start. So it's fortunate enough to be in a good situation where we can actually go out and make some waves.
So are you at a point now as a band where you're like, because you've kind of, sort of reinvented the band, have you talked about like doing your merch already, or you're already doing that stuff? Or like how early on are you thinking about like what's the image and you got a logo, but like what kind of merch are you going to sell and stuff?
Oh, we're going to, we need to design some new stuff. Right now our logos, people like our logo stuff. So it's, our baseball tees, stuff like that is really, really sold well. But we're definitely going to have to get some different stuff out there, and that's a real tricky thing. It's hard to come up with real good, catchy stuff that people wear every day, not just something they'll wear to change the oil in their car or something,
Yeah, I wish you luck with that. I mean, it's a tough thing coming up with all those ideas for that. I'm not one for it myself. So, hey, if you guys were to kind of set a goal, if you said, hey, where we want to be a year from now, do you kind of have a vision of where you're hoping the band's going to be if I talk to you a year from today?
It's full-time touring, for sure.
Yeah, for me at this time next year, I want to be getting ready to start on the festival tours. And that's going to be the goal for me, for getting the band to that point anyway.
Yeah, and definitely on radio rotation like Octane and stuff like that as well.
So for a band like yourselves, with those festivals, and we cover a ton of them all over the country, and then we'll also be found in little bar shows where there's 20 people sometimes. Do the festivals have that huge impact for you, or do you find sometimes you get almost as many fans from a small club show like that are just passionate?
For me personally, I think the festivals are the.
Yeah,
I've seen it both ways. When we did the Suffolk Festival, not this past summer before, it was absolutely ridiculous, the response that we got out of it. The likes that we got out of it, and the fans that are still with us from that are weekly or monthly contacted us wanting to know when the next show is or when the next bit of music's coming out. Definitely 100%, it was a lot easier to gain new fans from a much larger scale in the festivals. Playing the local scene and 90 minutes within a couple states away, that's definitely, you can grow your base, which is shown for us for sure. And you've got diehard fans that are going to come to every show, but opening up the ears and eyes of a larger crowd and getting out beyond those places to actually spread the word of the festivals makes a huge difference.
Well, folks, this has been the band Beyond the Fade. Their new single is out. It's called Welcome to the Pain. You can pick that one up. And Charlotte, North Carolina band, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. We're going to spin the tune tonight on the show, and we're going to keep an eye on you guys, and I certainly want to invite you back as new music comes out. We'd love to get you back on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Right on. Thanks for talking to us.